On Hunting University, Charlie takes us to Illinois and Indiana in search of mature whitetail. Then Ron Petty of Hevishot sets his sights on a big eastern gobbler. And we wrap it up at Riverbend Whitetails Limited, where Dirt and Charlie match wits with a couple of Kentucky longbeards. That's next on Hunting University.
It starts in the morning with the big owl hoot. My big boss gobbler, he's the king of the roost. He's got the longest beard I ever did see. He's checking out the ladies and he don't see me. He's strutting and a drumming and spinning like a top. My choke is full, I'm gonna make a turkey fly. Oh, Charlie and Dirt gonna let it ride from early in the morning till late at night. When it comes to hunting, everything you need to know is here on the Hunting University Show.
It's time for Hunting University with Charlie Ingram and Dirt King. Hunting University is brought to you by Gammo, Hornady, 1-800-INSURANCE, and Mid-South Shooter Supply. The first stop on Hunting University today is in the land of Lincoln. Charlie is looking to tag a mature whitetail.
We're up in northern Illinois and it's cold and windy. I think the wind chill's about 25 degrees. I got a lot of clothes on. But I'm gonna shoot my bow here just with all these clothes on because it's a lot different temperature here than it is in Tennessee. Perfect. That ought to be ready to go. Found some big rubs, big scrapes. It ought to be a really good hunt. If everything turns out right.
With the rut coming on, Charlie has placed his stand between a field and a thicket, hoping to catch a mature buck making his rounds. It almost pays off when this big drop-tine buck skirts the edge of the thicket. Bow hunting is a game of location, location, location. Sometimes 50 yards is the difference between a successful hunt or just watching a good deer walk away.
I think we probably need to move this stand up on that hill. So that's where all the bucks we've seen have come from.
On the last day of his Illinois hunt, Charlie gets in his stand and quickly ranges all of his possible shots. That's a good idea because you may not be able to when that big buck sneaks in. Moving the stand seems to have been the right call. Everything wants to be in this stretch of woods, including this nice 10-point, which never quite gets into range. And that's about it for Illinois. You can't win them all. And tomorrow is the opening of firearm season in Indiana. Charlie's headed that way. The transition to the Hoosier State isn't too difficult. It's windy, it's cold, and there are a lot of deer. Charlie hopes that one of these harvested fields will yield a mature buck. The action starts quickly on the first morning. This buck steps out just after first light. He's a good deer, and in the low light it's hard to tell how good. Charlie decides to let him walk. Over the next 2 days, Charlie watches a steady parade of deer.
You see it? Is that low buck?
Day 4 in Indiana, and Charlie has moved off the field and into the thick cover. A small buck stops by to check a scrape. Not exactly what Charlie's looking for.
There'll be a bigger one back here in a minute. I bet. There's a dog riding there under us. Look like that. Tell you what, man, this has been a fun deal. We've hunted out here in the rain and the snow, and I mean in some bad conditions. You know, a lot of times when you get around those open fields, you get to see a lot of deer, but you just don't see the right quality deer. These big ones seem to wait in the real thick stuff, so my camera guy, Rick, he had the bright idea to get in this real thick area that we're in today. Sure did pay off. You know, we've seen some does, a little buck, and then this nice one came along. I tell you what, A lot of people would be proud of this buck, you know.
Ronnie, my neighbor over here, said it was a real big deer here last year. That was a 12 point. This is a 12 point. I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's pretty old. Big old saggy belly. He could be going the other way. Been a nice deer if he hadn't broke that tine off. But that's all right. We enjoyed it right here on Hunting University. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, because I guarantee I've had a blast.
This segment brought to you by Hornady. Accurate, deadly, dependable. Hunting University.